Hey everybody, good to see you. It's day 11 of the 14-day challenge, and this is my dog Riley. She is in this shot today because today's oil is Peace and Calming, and she probably uses it more than any of us. And I don't know how long I'm going to get her in this shot, so I'm just going to amuse her. But this is my dog. She's 10, and so I've been using oils for 5 years, and so has she. Can you say hello? Good girl. So I don't know. Oh, she wants one more treat, and then I'm just gonna kind of let her do her thing. But little story. When I first got my starter kit, the Peace and Calming and Valor were in it, which was cool, and they weren't for a while. I keep kind of telling you guys a little bit about that story, but Peace and Calming and Valor were in it. I got my kit in 2014. And Young Living sort of exploded in this nation that year, and it was those two were everyone's favorite oils, and they were constantly out of stock. And then on top of that, there was a blue tansy crop failure. So we were just restricted like crazy. They would come in, we would all buy them. We would kind of hoard them, and they took them out of the starter kits. And I will say I never ever ran out of Peace and Calming. Thank goodness for the furry butt right there. But it was sad for a while. Then they replaced with Peace and Calming 2. I don't even know if you can still get that oil. We had Valor 2 and Peace and Calming 2. They were suitable replacements, but just not this. I know Valor 2 is no longer available, and I don't think Peace and Calming 2 is. God, I meant to check. I'll let you guys know. So anyway, Valor and Peace and Calming were on restricted sales. Then we had a blue tansy crop and farm failure. So things were bad for a very long time. We just didn't get those particular blends. And one of my absolute favorite things about Young Living is they will not substitute in other farm oils that have not been properly vetted out. Our farms are Seed to Seal certified. If you don't know what that is, go to seedtoseal.com and you will learn about how careful we are with the oils that we tell you to put on you, on your pets. I apply these to her, and I mean, you just got to be so careful. So therefore, we didn't have our Peace and Calming for a really long time. Well, the blue tansy fields were finally restored, and we had more ample supply, and those two oils were put back in the 2019 starter kit. So I am just so super excited that I can tell people that when they get their kit. So let's talk a little bit about what this amazing oil is and what's in it. Obviously, based on its name, it's for calming you down, right? But what's in here? Tangerine, which is actually a very calming oil. Orange, which is a very uplifting oil. Ylang-ylang, which is one of the best oils there are for anxiety. Patchouli, which is very balancing and grounding. And of course, that beautiful blue tansy. Blue tansy is also in Valor. And because of that, I know it's a super emotional oil. The way it works is blue tansy helps cleanse the liver where we store our emotions. So it does help us get rid of negative and angry feelings. The oils do work a little differently than each other. I talked to you about Valor in another video. Let's tell you some ideas of how to use Peace and Calming. When I first got my kit, it was 2014. I knew nothing about oils, and I knew a teeny little bit, which is what I learned at my class. But I got the kit, and it came with a diffuser, and at the time it came with 11 oils. The first night I thought, what should I do? Maybe I'll try this oil called Peace and Calming and put a little lavender, because I know that's a very relaxing oil. I thought I'll just put them in my diffuser and help to see if they help my husband sleep. It also was a really stormy night that night, and Scaredy Cat here does not handle storms very well at all. I went to go check on her. I had started the diffuser a few hours earlier. See how cute she looks. She's just sitting there looking. She's such a honey. I had started the diffuser a few hours earlier, and maybe like an hour earlier, and I went to go see where the dog was. Well, she had found the diffuser. She was in our bedroom next to my husband's nightstand, just kind of plastered against it. The oil was in the diffuser. It happened to be Peace and Calming and Lavender. It was in the diffuser, and she was as close to it as she could get, and she was pretty calm. She normally gets freaked out with storms. So that was a stormy year. We just knew that this was the one. I finally figured out that of the two, it was the Peace and Calming that was making her happiest. So every time we had a storm, every time there were fireworks all over the place, I would just throw the Peace and Calming in the diffuser. And I work from home, so I have an office where the door shuts, and she and I would just kind of sit in there. And that's what convinced my family that oils were a real thing, because she would literally go from to just totally chill. So we knew this was the deal. I, after that, learned that, what can I do? I was thinking, if I'm not home and I can't lock her in a room with a diffuser, I can't, by the way, with her. That causes more anxiety for her than anything, being locked in a room. So I thought, how do I get it on her all the time? Well, I learned I could put a little drop on the inside of her collar. So she's got a fabric collar on right here. Just put it on the inside of that. And I'm not going to put it on her now because I don't want to scare her. But you can see she kind of likes this oil. That's how you introduce an oil to a dog. But I put it on my hands, and then I rub the hands together, and I pat it on her. I kind of massage her ears a little bit. Whenever I do this, you guys, she just instantly calms down. Every time it storms to this day, she comes up to me for her oils. And when I do that, I put a couple drops. She's a bigger dog, so I can do a couple of drops. I put them in my hands, massage her ears, and then just pet it all down her spine. That's called the petting technique. So that's how you use it for dogs. But it's an oil for people too, right? How would you use it for you? Well, diffused is awesome. If you happen to have diffuser jewelry, putting it on a necklace or a bracelet is also a great idea, or a leather wrap jewelry. Oils that, when you want to apply an oil to an emotional point, your ears are excellent for that. As is the back of your neck, or your wrists, or over your chest, or on the bottom of your feet. Those are all wonderful ways to apply them. You can also just throw some in your hands, and you just put it got kind of this, by the way, it had a sort of a greenish tint to it. This oil, that blue tansy that's in here, and Valor will stain your clothes, so you got to be a little bit careful. It gives it the color. But anyway, just put it in your hands. Your hands have a lot of emotional points on it too, but then you can cup them over your nose and just take some deep breaths. This is great if you're about to encounter a really high stress situation, which for me is the dentist, getting my blood pressure taken at the doctor, or driving on 8094 around here. So you can just sit there and huff that for a while. You guys, these things work so fast. I've tested them. I've done blood pressure on me before and after my oils. When you find the right oil for you, it's kind of golden. All right, last but not least, your husbands or your wives and your children could really benefit from this oil, especially when they're really freaking out, right? It's got that interesting patchouli-like smell, but that's okay. It works quickly. Even if you need to sort of put it on, rub it on their hair, hold their hands. With children, you should dilute it a little bit, put it on their feet. Offer to diffuse it. My husband does like oils diffused most of the time, so he doesn't mind it when I pull out that diffuser. So, all right, that's just about it, but I did want to talk about one more thing, and that's what's on my shirt. I know it's backwards, but it says it's not a handout, it's a hand up. I wish I would have reversed this for this, but you get the idea. This shirt is from Young Living. It's from the YL Foundation page. Young Living has a page called YL Foundation, and we have a foundation with some excellent causes in it. If you don't know anything about them, I will put the link in this video as well, so you can learn a lot about our foundation and the ministries that they fund. All of the money that you donate to the YL Foundation all of it goes to the ministries because Young Living pays all the expenses from their profits, not from your donations. So if you ever see something about having a donation for YL Foundation, think about that. Another way you can totally and easily donate is to do the roundup on all of your orders. We were told several times that if everybody just did that roundup on their orders, so many more millions could be raised for their causes. Two of my favorites are Soul Hope and Hope for Justice. Soul Hope is for shoes for people that have chiggers in them, and Hope for Justice is to rescue girls from slavery, the slave trade. So, but there are others, and they're excellent causes. Think about that. If you get a chance to ever get a cool shirt like this, do it, and then you can maybe tell some of the people about the awesome ministries that with the YL Foundation. All right, that's it. This is a giveaway post as well, so also in the comments, I'm going to put what the prize is for commenting on the Day 11 video or the Day 11 posts. Hope you guys have been following along. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you.